How good is Sadako? How do I put this nicely?
Oh, not good.
I don't think Sadako is that good of a killer. Even with the changes and buffs that she did get, which they were a net buff, they were objectively good. Though I don't think it, fixed the issue that she has no anti-loop and her condemned is still not that good. The problem is that they can easily remove the tape in like 10 seconds. You turn off a TV, then you get a tape, and then you put it in. Like, it takes maybe like 10-20 seconds to get from point A to point B, and then it takes like 2 seconds to put that tape in, and the killer doesn't know where you are. Like, you're not, like, there's no notification from the killer, until you're actually fully condemned and cursed. But that's not the problem. That's not like what I'm trying to say. The thing is that there's no incentive to get a tape, which is still like, what's the point of getting a tape? The only reason you would ever get a tape is if the killer, if Sadako, keeps on like teleporting near you, where your condemned slowly builds up, and then you finally need to get a tape to remove it. That's the only like reason to do that. That's the only incentive. That's one thing, and then another thing is, this is a huge problem in my opinion. This is what makes the pig slightly better in my opinion, in terms of like, pressure, map pressure for instance. I know that she's able to teleport, but the thing is, her condemn doesn't do much. Even like for like a pressure standpoint. I guess you can teleport around and stuff, but like, the condemned has its own gimmick. That's all it is, it's just a gimmick. I find it very outlandish to be able to put a tape in before a killer can even attack you from their cooldown, like their normal attack cooldown. That's what I find outlandish, because that just ruins any chance of getting condemned. Because if any survivor realizes they can, like, once they're cursed, all they have to do is run to their to the TV, and even if the killer's chasing you, you still have more time than they do to put the tape in. That needs to be addressed. Like, if you don't want to, make that like a pressure like thing, if you don't want to like make the condemned like any pressure, and you just want to make it like a small gimmick, at the very least make it not useless. Like, I don't know how people could even possibly get condemned unless they're purposely trying to for the Mori, because the Mori is pretty cool. Just like this cool stereo eye, very cool. Right now it's useless. This is post PTB. The killer overall, if you put her on a tier list during PTB, I'd say she's like D tier, C tier at best, and right now I would say C tier at worst and C tier at best. Because I'll admit, the faster charge time for the demanifestation and the manifestation, that is actually a really good change. I've seen people actually get hits that they wouldn't have been able to get beforehand, so that's good. But here's the second problem. The second problem is that she's just a hit and run killer. And the reason why that's a big problem is because almost every survivor now brings, healing perks, circle of healing, all that stuff, which makes hitting and running is not really effective as a killer anymore. It even made Wraith slightly worse, but the thing with Wraith is that he can still do that because he has his huge lunge power when he uncloaks. He can like lunge completely far, which is, anti-loop. That's why Wraith's still good after that, change of Circle of Healing coming out. But Sadako doesn't have that same thing. She doesn't have that huge lunge power when she comes out of like her manifest. But she does have it when she comes out of TV, but it's very hard to get that lunge. Overall, Sadako, like, I do like her as her design's really cool. Animations are amazing. Her trailer, I watched her trailer, very cool. I'm just trying to talk about like her power. I know people might be upset me saying that she's bad or just not good, because people are like, okay, like, I've heard people's points. I will address these points because I don't want people to think I don't know this. The reason people like Sadako is because she's kind of different, and she just feels more thematic than other killers, and she just have overall good map control because of her teleporting. But that's still, and another thing is that a lot of people have been tired of every killer having anti-loop, and I, for one, I can understand why people are tired of it, because there's some killers that just are very annoying, and I'm looking at a certain killer right now. They don't need to give her like a anti-loop. They just need to buff her current aspects. But people need to understand that just because she's cool and she looks good doesn't mean that I have to like her. I do like her for what she is. I just don't think that she's good. I don't think anyone's gonna disagree with me that she's C tier at best. I mean, I've seen people say B tier, but I don't know why they say that, because she's not. Maybe they can make an argument why. Maybe her perks are just so great. I don't really consider perks as a big thing. Like her perks are like her brown to green perks don't really change for that much. I'm glad they did buff her invisibility. I get her base kit invisibility because that's pretty cool too. But that's just not enough. Because the amount of times I've seen her from coming like I don't know 20 meters away, for me to be able to like get to a loop, like that's not really gonna work. And it works for some killers like Ghostface, where you know Ghostface is coming most of the time because he's not invisible. But you know he has this, he can instant down you and you won't know, just like Myers. But she doesn't have that, and she doesn't have the pig's reverse bear traps to make them have like an extra 2 minutes of map control if you're lucky. Of course, RNG is still a thing. But I do appreciate there's no RNG in her power for the most part. But I just think they just need to buff the like some aspects. Like I said, the TV. They should do that. I don't want to ramble on forever, but like how I just don't like how you can put a tape in while a killer is in their attack cooldown after they hit you. I just don't get that. Maybe if you add like an extra second or two, I think that would fix like a lot of issues. Would it fix most of the issues? No, but at least fix that. I think that's like the first thing you should like address and fix, because that's like just it makes it useless. We'll see if they you know add like a second or two to that in the near future or not. But anyways, I don't want to keep on rambling about her. I do like her. I'm gonna keep playing her. I think she's cool. Like I said, yeah. I wanted to make this video earlier. The patch notes came out before her release, and I already had a good idea on like how it's gonna be. But I was basically playing Elden Ring, okay? Elden Ring, not gonna lie, I'm having more fun playing Elden Ring than Dead by Daylight. Okay, it's a fun game. Check it out. Let's be honest, everyone's been playing it. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone.